Now, today we continue with David's reign and his desire to bring the ark to Jerusalem. Again, this is history. First Chronicles chapter 13. David consulted with his commanders and the people, and they agreed to bring the ark back. The ark had been neglected during Saul's reign, and they placed it on a new cart and began to celebrate. But the Israelites were not transporting the ark according to God's direction, his instructions. Yes. When the oxen stumbled, Uzzah reached out and touched the ark. The Lord struck him and he died there. David became angry and afraid and temporarily left the ark at the house of Obed-Edom. The ark remained there for 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed-Edom and his household. First Chronicles 14, David established himself in Jerusalem. The Lord confirmed his kingdom, and David understood that God had established him as king for the sake of Israel. The Philistines heard that David had become king and came against him. But David did not immediately act on his own. What did he do? I think we remember, right? David inquired of the Lord. David defeated the Philistines. When they returned again, David inquired of God a second time. This time, God gave him different instructions. David obeyed, and the Lord gave him victory. David's reputation spread, and the Lord made the nations fear him. First Chronicles chapter 15, David prepared a place for the ark in Jerusalem. But this time, he recognized what had gone wrong. David said, "No one but the Levites may carry the ark." He remembered. The priests and Levites consecrated themselves. The ark was carried on their shoulders according to God's command. And David appointed singers and musicians to lead Israel in worship. The Levites carried the ark, and the people celebrated with singing, instruments, and rejoicing. This time, the ark arrived safely in Jerusalem. David danced before the Lord with all of his might and all of his strength. Now, what do these chapters teach and show us? Good intentions do not replace obedience to God's commands. God is holy and must be approached according to his word. David learned from his first failure and corrected his actions. Seeking God before acting is absolutely essential. I can't stress that enough. And worship should be joyful, but it must also honor God's instructions. Now, let's connect all of this across Scripture. The death of Uzzah reminds us that God's holiness cannot be treated casually. Numbers 4 and 15, had already instructed the Levites concerning the proper handling of holy things. David's second attempt shows an important biblical principle. God's work must be done God's way. Now, I'm encouraging you to read First Chronicles chapters 13 through 15 in full. Y'all watch David desire God's presence and watch him learn that sincere intentions are not enough, as they still are today. It's just not enough. Watch him seek God, obey his instructions, his commands, and finally bring the ark to Jerusalem. The story continues tomorrow.